Shanti is doing it?
Yeah, in Facebook. She said what she's doing.
Okay. So, we just finished Navadvip Dham Mahatmya of Thakur Bhaktivinoda. And now we're starting another book of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhajana-rahasya. In Chaitanya Shikshamrita, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if one acts below one's qualification, that will be a fault. Right, Rajeshri? And if one acts above one's qualification, that will also be a fault. So where I am in bhajan, what should be my meditation? What should be my practice? What should I give emphasis on? What should I neglect? Without knowing all this, one cannot perform, one cannot move nicely. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says if one is nicely situated on any platform, and he wants to advance, he stretches his foot forward, then he gives up that previous platform to go forward. So we should know where I am now, and where I'm going. Then you can have like a map. On the map, I want to go from Perm to Vrindavan. So if I have a map, then I can see, okay, first is Kazakhstan, then whatever. So in the same way, Rupa Goswami has given us one map. Adau Shraddha Tada Bhajana Kriya Anatana Vritti Nishta Stata. This verse is famous. 8 stages of bhajan. 8. Also, there are 8 pairs of names in the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna. Okay, the 8 stages of bhajan. Adau Shraddha. First is Shraddha. Then, or some say before Shraddha is Sadhusang, Shraddha, Anatana Vritti, Bhajana Kriya, Anatana Vritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and Prema. So anyway, 8 stages of bhajan. First is, anyway, this will all be explained. There are also 8 pairs of names in the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thought I was running out of fingers. No. 8 pairs of names. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not wrote any books, but he spoke 8 verses of Shikshastra. Chetodapana Majana Mahadavagnivapanam. This is 8 verses of Shikshastra. And ultimately, Krishna's eternal day, the Aprakat Lila in Golok Vrindavan, and that is also divided into 8 sections. Krishna's day is eternal, because there is only the present tense. We cannot understand now. But Krishna's eternal day divided to 8 sections, 8 verses in the mantra, 8 stages of devotion, and 8 divisions of time in Krishna's eternal pastimes. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has matched all of this together. The first verse of Shikshastikam indicates the first stage of bhajan. This also, for those in the stage of bhav, indicates the Pratakal pastimes of Radha Krishna. This is all given in the first pair of Yugal Nam in the Mahamantra. So this is called Bhajana-rahasya. So very Gurudev, when I first came to Gurudev, then he would speak from this Bhajana-rahasya. So quite a big book, quite huge. So it'll probably take us a long time to get through it. No problem. The setting of the sun and the rising of the sun take away the time of everyone, take away the lifespan of everyone, except that person who hears Harikatha. Okay, so, very sad, some people do not accept Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Probably just wasted 2-3 days arguing with many idiots. They want to jump to the works of the Goswamis. We will understand the writings of Jiva Goswami directly. We will understand Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur directly. But this is not the process, because we are not on a level to understand their writings. That is why one should always approach the living Guru, the living Acharya. Anyway, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how deep, how kind, how expert. You read his books, then we can understand. So, Pratham Yam Sadhana. The first stage of sadhana. So in this first stage of sadhana, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us 38 verses. Okay. So we can think where I am now, what I should be doing. So first, introduction. He puts us on the feet of Lord Chaitanya. Why? Sankirtaneke Pitaro Kamalaya Taksha. Number one, he is the father of the Sankirtan mission. Right? And Kalo Tad Harikirtana. In Kali Yuga, there is no other way of perfection except for Harinam. Also, he is Kali Yuga Pavan. I think Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj said, when we come to a country, we must do pranam to the flag of that country, right? To the leader of the country. Otherwise, we cannot enter because he's in charge of that place. When we come to Moscow, Sheremetyevo airport, we do pranam to the Russian flag. Why? This is their place. In the same way, we do pranam to Gauranga because Kali Yuga is his age. He's in charge of it. So without worshipping Gauranga Mahaprabhu, one cannot achieve success in this age. Quite impossible. Okay, so we'll hear everything, no? Krishna Varanam, Twisa Krishna, Saanga Upangasta Pashada, Yagne Sankitana Praya Bhajata, Bhajami. Oh, sorry. Krishna Vanam Twisa Krishna, Sangupanga Pashadam, Yagne Sankitana Praya Yajantihi Sumedasa. Okay, that is a verse from the Bhagavatam, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur give his own little addition. The Bhagavatam says, Krishna Varanam Twisa Krishna. He is Krishna, but he is not Krishna. He is not black. What's the Atwisa Krishna? Twisa Krishna. What's the opposite of black? Golden. So he is Krishna, but he is golden complexion. And what does he do? Krishna Varanam. He always chanting the syllables, Krishna, Krishna. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is spoken by the Navayogendras. Nimi Maharaj, King Nimi Maharaj met them in the forest, and many questions he asked. So he asked about the different incarnations in the different ages, and when he asked what is the incarnation of Kali Yuga, then the Navayogendras spoke this verse. He is Krishna, but he is not black. The opposite of black is golden. So, anyway, so Krishna Varamatwisa Krishna. He's always chanting the syllables, Krishna, Krishna. Did he come alone? Sangupangastapasha. No. He came with his limbs and his upaanga. Limbs are Advaitacharya and Nityananda Prabhu. Not like arms and legs. And upaanga means like toes and fingers. So his limbs like Nitai, especially Advaitacharya, and the upaanga means the little expansions like Rup and Sanatan, Jiva Goswami. These are the upangas. These are the parshads of Bhagavan, the eternal associates. When Bhagavan comes, generally he comes with his associates. Some incarnations we cannot see their associates, like fish incarnation, no associates. Means not here when he come in this world. Varahadev, he not came with his associates. But the human-like incarnations, Ram, Krishna, and Gauranga came with so many associates. Parashad, they're eternally with the Lord. When Bhagavan comes, they come with him at that time. That is the definition of the eternal associates. In Jayavadama Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives that explanation. Like who came with his limbs, with his associates like Rup Sanatan, and with his weapon. What is the weapon? Bhagavan always comes with some weapons. Ram came with bow and arrow. Krishna came with flute. Krishna also came with club, the saranga bow, one sword. Special name is there, I forget. Krishna also had many weapons. Krishna in Dwarkadish Krishna have many weapons. But Vrindavan Krishna, his weapon is the flute. By that he controls everything. But this incarnation of Gauranga, no weapons. Only one time we see Gauranga use the weapon when Jagai Madai did too much nonsense. Lord Chaitanya called his Sudarshan Chakra. That time Nityananda begged, no, don't kill them. Because if you kill all the demons in Kali Yuga, who will be left? Right, Shamalada, Megan Bhagavan came and killed all the meat eaters, all the drug addicts, all the alcohol drinkers in Perm. Who would be left? No one. Arjuna also finished. So Bhagavan not kill the demon. Bhagavan may kill someone, but change the samskar, this is not so easy. Krishna kill you, you get liberation, mukti. But again, you have to take birth. Because how long you can stay liberated? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he killed all the bad tendencies in the heart. And not just give liberation, he gave prem. So the worship of the Lord is called yagya. Yagna to lokayam karma bandhana in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. Any object, anything given to me, this is called yagya. And Bhagavan Vishnu is called Yagya Bhuk. He eats only yagya. But what is the yagya for worshipping Lord Chaitanya? No? In Treta Yuga, they did big fire sacrifices, so much wealth, so much expert brahmanas. But in Kali Yuga, that is not possible. So Lord Chaitanya is worshipped by the yagya of Harinam Sankirtan. So Bhagavatam says, Yajanti hi sumedasa. Those who are very intelligent, they worship this incarnation by the process of Harinam. But here Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a little change the last line, Bhajami Kali Pavan. I worship that purifier of Kali Yuga Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the Upangas, the servants, means Srivas Pandit, other devotees. The Parshads include Swarup Damodar, Ramananda Roy, Gadadhar Pandit, and the 6 Goswamis. And by his weapon of Harinam, he destroys ignorance. So when we begin this Bhajana-rahasya, we have to start in the correct place. And that correct place is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why, if one approaches Krishna, there's no guarantee at all one will be successful in one's bhajan. Who did Krishna give prem to in Krishna Lila? Lila Kamala, name one person Krishna gave prema to. You scratch your heart, very hard to think. For those who are eternal associates or sadhan siddhas who achieve perfection in previous life, Krishna gave to them. But ordinary person, they could not understand. Noso Kaliji Udarite Paratattva Hari Navadvi Boilo Gaurarupa Avishkari Yuga Dharma Krishnam Smarana Kirtan Sangopangi Vittarila Dio Premadan. Today I started learning Bengali, writing and reading. Okay, so Shamla to tell her, if I'm so old and I can start, why your sister cannot start learning English? Never too old to start. So Kali Jeev, the Kali Yuga Jeev, full of some, we were hearing so much in Navadvip Dan Mahatmya. The Kali Yuga Jeev, short lifespan, so many anatas, so many material desires, so many misconceptions. Most are pretty demonic, absorbed in Tamagun, Rajagun. How you do bhajan of Krishna in that condition? So Radha Krishna came in the combined form of Lord Chaitanya to purify the jivas of Kali Yuga. So actually it said those who worship, accept Krishna but not Lord Chaitanya, they're one type of demon. One type of demon. So Kali Jeev Udarite Paratattva Hari. That absolute truth, Sri Hari. In Kali Yuga, he appeared in Navadvip, Gaura Rupa Aviskari. What does Aviskari mean? Descended. That Supreme Lord Krishna descended in Navadvip to deliver the jivas of Kali Yuga, the jivas of Kali Yuga. How? Yugadam, Krishnam, Smarana Kirtan, Sangopangi Vittarila, Diya Premadan. Through his associates, Sang, Upanga, his parishads and his other devotees, Vitalila Diya Premadan, they distributed Prema Bhakti, which Krishna did not distribute in the previous incarnation. It said Braj Lila like a storehouse of Prema, but who could access that? Only some very rare Nitya Siddhas, some very rare Sadhan Siddhas, some very rare Kripa Siddhas, something they could get. But ordinary persons, Lila Kamala from Russia, Nitya Kishori from Vietnam. What chance? No chance. So Nityananda and the devotees, they broke, this was held by a dam. That dam is Krishna's. Only those Krishna's promised. Jejata Mam Prapadante. That much you do bhajan, that much I give you. That is like a wall. That much you're qualified, that much you get. That is like a dam. So all Krishna's nectar, like all Braj Lila, like a, what do you call it? Stopped. That could not touch the people because of Krishna's own words. So Nityananda Prabhu, the devotees, they smashed that wall. And that flood of Krishna's sweetness touched everyone. That flood touched everyone. The stupid, the ignorant, the so-called pundits, the low-born, the high-born. Only some people avoided that flood. Especially the Kutarkas, those who are addicted to mundane logic. The Mayavadis, the student community. These persons could not get it. So some even ran from that flood, like the Mayavadis at Varanasi, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chased them. Take some, take some. So, Jivera Sunitya Dharma Nama Sankirtan. Jivera Sunitya Dharma Nam Sankirtan Anya Sad Dharma Nam Siddhira Kara. All other dharmas can only achieve perfection if they have some contact with the holy name. Right? What does that mean? There are many, many different types of sadhanas, so-called sadhanas, so-called dharma, like karma. But ultimately, if you want perfection in karma, Krishna is the ultimate bestower of that also. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna makes this clear. Therefore, without a little bit of Nam Sankirtan in the yagya, you cannot get the result of karma. Therefore, last in the yagya, Govinda Swaha, Gopijana Vallabha Swaha. Without some touch of Harinam, karma cannot give any result. The Gyan Sadhan, very difficult to perform. 6 limbs of Gyan Sadhan. Astanga Yoga, very difficult to perform. And their goal is insignificant mukti. Therefore, the Mayavadis also, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. No? Or very easily by chanting the name of Hari, I can get liberation. So all other sadhanas cannot give result without some contact with the name. Okay? So, Jivara Sunitya. So in Kali Yuga, Nam Sankirtan is the only eternal religion. Someone may say, how it's the eternal religion? Only in Kali Yuga, it's the Yuga Dharma. Because when you go to Goloka Vrindavan, what are we going to do there? Purushottam, not that you're ever going to go anytime soon, but if you do go to Goloka Vrindavan by some era, what you'll do in Goloka Vrindavan?
Chant and remember.
Yeah. See also Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All manjaris, all sakas, none. This Harinam worshipped even by the liberated souls. So it's the only real Nitya Dharma. But Prahlad also chanting the name. Hanuman in Treta Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is Yagya, but Hanuman always Siya Ram, Siya Ram. The gopis, of course, in Brajalila, Govinda, Damodar, Madhavati. So name is there in all yugas, but in Kali Yuga more prominence is given. Therefore, Kali Yuga is more glorious than other yugas. So, Jivades Sunitya Dharma Nam Sankirtan. The Jiva's only eternal religion is chanting the holy name. Okay, is Magda from Poland? Did she join? Okay, doesn't look like it. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur begins this book by praying to Sriman Mahaprabhu. The Jiva's only duty is to worship Sri Gaurasunda, who has the complexion and sentiment of Sri Radha. The central figure of the Panchatattva is the Atma of the Panchatattva. He and his 4 other forms, Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and the associates headed by Srifas, are all worshipped. No, if you think I will only worship Lord Chaitanya, no one else, not possible. Because Bhagavan cannot be worshipped separate from his power. Wake up early, Purushottam, take bath, do this, do that. Difficult. But Gauranga easily worshipped. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Therefore, Taramadya Sarvashrest Nam Sankirtan. Of all the 9 limbs of devotion, the chanting of Hare Nam is the topmost. Ananga Mohan, doing every day? By doing this, all other limbs of devotion are accomplished. For example, if you're worshipping the deity and not chanting Hare Nam, then Archan cannot give result. If you're doing Parikram, Padasevanam, and not chanting Hare Nam, then Padasevanam will not give result very quickly. But by chanting Hare Nam, all the limbs of devotion are practiced. So it's the topmost. Even though one does not perform any other sadhana, if he just chants Hare Nam, he will achieve perfection. Okay, Sochi devotees listening? Don't think, oh, this is for the beginners, this is for the novichoks. Why should I go and chant Hare Nam? Ananga Mohan saying, I can just sit back and watch YouTube videos on my phone at home. No. Didi says, one who goes on Hare Nam, that person has so much security, so much good fortune. So actual service to Krishna is carried out through chanting Hare Nam. Who taught this? Krishna himself, in the form of Lord Chaitanya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the soul of the Panchatattva. Whether you go to Srivas or you go to Gadadha or Nityananda or Advaita, any line, all take you to the same point, Lord Chaitanya. Okay. So that name is so great, even Krishna takes shelter of his own name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That name has so much sweetness, even Krishna wants to taste that. Okay. So first we give pranam to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he is the father of the Sankirtan mission. And he is easily worshipped just by Hare Nam. Okay, so anyway, he gives so much praman there. One time, is there any proof many people cannot accept Lord Chaitanya? But in Bhagavad Gita, many scriptures describe him. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bharatava abhutanama dharmasya tada pajam sujami aham. I appear in every age. So question comes, who is the Yuga avatar for Kali Yuga? The Mahabharata grandfather Bhishma. He said, Suvarnavana hemano varanas changanadiri sanyas krit chamena nishta shanti parana. This is from Mahabharata. Suvarna varana hemanga. His complexion is like molten gold. Varanangas chananadiri. Suvarna varana hemanga. His body is covered with sandalwood paste, flower garlands, and other things. Varanangas chananadiri. Varan also means the syllables of the holy name. Therefore, Varanangas, he's always chanting the names of Krishna. Sannyas, he will take the renounced order. Krit, Chama, Shanto. Chama, he is very merciful, very forgiving. Shanto, he is always peaceful. Nishta, he is fixed in distributing devotion. Nishta Shanti Parayana, and he himself practices devotion. Nishta Shanti Parayana. Jiva Goswami writes in Tattva Sandarbha, Anta Krishna Bahe Gauram Dashadanga Vaibhavam Kalau Sankirtanadya Sma Krishna Chaitanya Masutta. I take shelter of Lord Chaitanya. Anta Krishna Bahe Gauram. Inside he is Krishna, outside he is God. Golden complexion. Darshit Angi Vaibhavam. In Kali Yuga, he always comes with his Vaibhav. Vaibhav means his opulences, his devotees, his prema. Okay. While performing Sankirtan. Okay, so here's Krishna in the complexion of Radhika. So first we glorify him. Verse 2, Stavavali. No, Pujapad Madhusudana Maharaj did that, Stavavali. Stavavali, no, Stavamala he did. Stavavali. Collection of Raghunath Goswami, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. When will see Sachidanand Gaura Hari appear on the path of my eyes? He accepted the Gaudiya Vaishnavas in this world who are like bees at his lotus feet. He accepted them as his own. He instructed them to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra by counting a fixed number of rounds. Okay, no cheating. Counting a fixed number of rounds every day, Purushottam? 64 every day, right? Anyway, should keep a fixed number. Manorama doing? That's why going crazy. If you have a fixed number of rounds, your mind will be absorbed in that. I have to finish. This is my duty. This is my seva. So your mind will be bound by that. And you think, no, I don't follow anything. The mind will be unregulated and mad. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave personal example of chanting by counting a fixed number of rounds. Some huge insect. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not using japamala, but sometimes he using cloth with knots, or sometimes he counting on his fingers, but he counting every day a fixed number. And Mahaprabhu's all associates doing like that, especially Haridas Thakur. In old age, he could not finish his chanting of 300,000 rounds, 300,000 names of Krishna. So when he was old and sick, he could not do. So Mahaprabhu told him, you are now perfect, no need to do. But Haridas Thakur not felt happy. If I do not finish my chanting, I have no right to take prasad. No. But anyway, because Lord Chaitanya gave, then he accepted a bit. Any Chinese translation? Sumangala? No? For the Chinese? Okay. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the devotees as his own. So when the Chaitanya again will appear before our eyes. So verse 3, the Vishnu-rahasya says, Yad abhyacharya harim bhaktya kriti krito satirapi phalam prapnati avikalam kalo govinda kirtanat. Whatever fruit is attained in Satyuga by performing big austerities for hundreds of years, the same result you can achieve in the age of Kali just by chanting Govinda. Govinda. Satyuga satasat yagya haracharan. The same result achieved in Satyuga by meditation, in Treta Yuga by yagya, fire sacrifice, and in Dwapara by performing the deity worship of Bhagawan. The same result is attained in Kali Yuga, not even by chanting the pure name, but just Namabhas. Like Ajamil, by accident he chanted the holy name. Oh Narayan, my son, Narayan. And that was Satyuga, and he got liberation. So in Kali Yuga, if one can chant Namabhas, even he gets such a great result. Okay. So Harinam so powerful. So easy process. What's difficult, Manoram? Just move the tongue, lips. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. What's so hard? I can't. Day and night we're talking so much rubbish. Just vibrate the tongue and lips. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. But we are so unfortunate, still we don't accept it. No? So, The Brihad Narada Puran describes Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Katiya Nidhara. In this age of Kali Yuga, there is no other process, no other process, no other process except chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name. Brihad Vishnu Purana states, Namno Yasi Yavata Shakti Papo Nirharani Hari, Tavat Katum Nasnatuti Patakam Patakijana. One name of Krishna can destroy more sins than it's possible to commit. Okay. So if you try to commit as many sins as possible, as Purushottam used to, still that mountain is burnt to ashes just by one name of Krishna. If one does not believe this, then one is very unfortunate. Kona prashchita nahi namera saman ateva karma tyag kore buddhiman. Scriptures give many, many different processes of purification. If you read the Manu Samhita, for example, no? For a girl to have illicit sex before marriage, this is 3/4 of the sin of killing a Brahmin. For a man, it's only a quarter. Anyway, don't get too happy, Purushottam. So many, many sins are there. We have done unlimited. If you read Manu Samhita, very gruesome. That describes the process of purification. If you kill a cow by accident or knowingly, then you have to go and live in a cow skin. You have to wear cow skin for 1 year. You have to drink and bathe cow urine for 1 year. And when the cows eat and pass stool, you have to pick out their grains from the stool, boil that in cow urine for 1 year. When the cows stand up, you stand up. When they sit down, you stand up. You do that 1 year, you're purified of the sin of killing a cow. So anyway, the scriptures describe many, many methods of purification. No? But all these are contained within Harinam. All sins are destroyed by Harinam. Ateva karma tyag kori buddhiman. So why would one take shelter of any other process? Ek Harinam jata papa hari, papi hoy tat papa kori bori nari. Ek Harinam jata papa. One Harinam can destroy more sins than it's possible to commit. No, there's a story, one devotee called Subudhi Rai. He was a Brahmin and he was very wealthy. And one day, he had one Muslim working for him. And that Muslim stole some money or did some nonsense. So Subudhi Rai whipped him. Some mark was on the back of that Muslim. Afterwards, by killing all his family members, that Muslim boy became king. And he was married. Then his wife again and again asked, "What's that mark on your back? How did it happen?" But he did not want to tell, but wife put so much pressure on him. Radha Nangomahan, remember that? So finally, he said, Subudhi Rai whipped me. So wife said, "Well, now you're the king, you can kill him." But the Muslim king said, no, Subudhi Rai is like my father. How could I do like that? So only devotee can develop, only devotee have that type of qualities that people can love them like that. Like the 6 Goswamis, Dira, Jana, Priya, Karo. Everyone loved the Goswamis. The sadhus, even non-sadhus loved him. Even bad people can realize this person is my well-wisher. I can realize. So the wife put pressure on him, at least do some punishment. So the king made him into a Muslim by throwing some water on him. Subudhi Rai was rejected by the family, rejected by society. So he renounced everything and he went to Varanasi. In Varanasi, there are people who are very learned in the Manu Samhita, this process of purification. So he asked the Pandits, for a Brahmin who falls from his caste, what is the method of purification? Then the Brahmana said, you have to drink 1 kilo of boiling ghee. Okay, Brajeshri, what happens if you drink 1 kilo of boiling ghee? Finished. Die. Then he was a little sad by that, so that's why you always go to the doctor, another doctor for a second opinion. The second Pandit said, because it was an accident, don't take it seriously. It was beyond your control. Subhuti Roy was confused. That time he met Lord Chaitanya and presented his problem. Mahaprabhu said, no need of any other form of purification, just chant Harinam. No? Ek Harinam Jatapapa. One Harinam can destroy more sins than it's possible to commit. Okay? So Kirtan is superior, the easiest process. Akachit Smananam Vishnu Bhavayasena Sadite Oshta Spandana Matrina Kirtanam Tu Tatovaram. Sins are destroyed by remembering Vishnu. But remembering Vishnu is very difficult. Okay, Purushottam, go in meditation and meditate on Vishnu. After 3 seconds, Purushottam's remembering the car wash. Got my exams. Mind is very fickle. So to remember Vishnu is very difficult. But by kirtan, which is very easy, one can easily destroy all sins. No, there was one huge atheist. Actually, he was a Muslim. Sorry, not an atheist. But Muslim is one type of atheist also. Did you know that, Purushottam? Next time you meet them, you can tell them. Saraswati Thakur said, one who believes in God but does not accept the Vedas, he is still an atheist. Right? Because who's God? That's Krishna, right? I believe in God, but I don't believe in Krishna. What's that? Atheist. So there was a Muslim, huge, and he was very cruel, very nasty. He was killing many people. So somehow the devotees heard about that. And there was one devotee called Gadadhar Das. I think he was Gadadhar Das. So he was very fearless, Gadadhar Das. So he went into this huge atheist, this Muslim, this guy who was completely against the Vedas and the demigods and what to speak of Bhagavan. He came in there and he roared, oh, Muslim, chant Harinam. So the Muslim joked something. Okay, I'll chant Hare Krishna a little bit later. Then Gadadhar roared, you are already liberated because already you chanted Hare Krishna. So much power. So kirtan is superior to even remembrance of Bhagavan. Let me say that again. Kirtan is superior even to remembering Bhagavan. And real remembrance only comes by the mercy of kirtan. If you chant the holy name, then the holy name easily gives remembrance of Krishna. Like Gurudev said, when we sing Yasomati Nandana, what do you remember? Yasomati Nandana. Krishna is the son of Yasoda. Yasomati Nandana Braja Bara Nagara. Oh, he's the Nagar of Braj. Then you can remember. Gokula Ranjana Kana. He's Kana. He's Gokul Ranjan. He's giving so much happiness to Gokul. The ornament of Gokul. So just by kirtan, easily remembrance of Krishna comes. So tapasya dhyan yoga kas sadhya hoy ostesh pandamatra kirtan anastroy. This Bhaktivinoda Thakur making his own verses. So austerities, okay, Purushottam, go and lie on some thorns for a few hours. After that, you can go in the freezing river up to your neck. In summer, you can go and surround yourself by cow dung fires in the middle of the day to perform austerities. No more masala dosas for you, only dry bread and water. Very difficult. Tapasya, dhyan, meditation, very hard. Who can sit hour after hour and fix their mind and breathing and all senses? Not easy. Yoga. My God. Anyone want to suffer nicely? Just take up the yoga process. When I was young, maybe I shouldn't even tell all this, but anyway, stayed in a yoga ashram. God, it was horrible. Horrible. Just miserable. So much hard work, do this, do that. God, I remember, nasty business. So tapasya, dhyan, yoga, cost, sadhyaya. Difficult, so difficult to perform, right? When's the last time Purushottam touched his toes? The Nangamohan hasn't seen his toes for years. So yoga, meditation, so difficult. So difficult. To achieve the goal is not easy. And even you achieve the goal, that goal is also like useless. But just move the tongue and lips. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So easy. Somehow Gurudev was asking me once what I did. We're talking about Bihar, and I said, oh yeah, I traveled around Bihar when I was young. Then Gurudev said, where you went? And I told him some of the different places I visited. Then I said, oh yes, I stayed in yoga ashram. Yoga ashram. You go, yoga ashram. You know yoga? I said, well, many years I not did. Then Gurudev asked me to show him some positions like that. I still remember. Very funny. You know? Everyone was laughing so much. He was just joking, of course. So all these things very difficult. But Harinam so easy, right? What's difficult about bhajan, Purushottam? Just sit there, hear Harikatha, how much happiness you feel. Just move the tongue and lips, just look at Thakurji. Easy and naturally. Take prasad, God, anyone can do that. So easy, bhakti so easily performed. Really nothing difficult there. Smaran Kirtana Sarav Siddhi Sangha. Smaran Kirtana Sarav. So a jiva can perform all perfection by Nam Kirtan and Nam Smaran. Right? If you cannot chant by lips, you can remember in the mind. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna in the mind. So Smaran Kirtan Sarva Siddhi Sangatan. One can achieve all perfection by remembering the name and by chanting the name. Archana Pekshnamas Smarana Kirtan. The remembering of the name of Krishna, the chanting of the name of Krishna is superior to Archan. Archan difficult, so much chance of offense. Right? Pick your nose, touch your mouth, touch your ear, you touch Thakurji, offense. So if you read the 32 Seva Aparads, very hard to save oneself from that. But chanting the holy name is superior even to Archan. Yes, I remember because I joined Gaudiya Math, our first Western to join, like Gurudev's ashram as a brahmachari. Then Gurudev gave Diksha. Then he said, immediately you have to learn to cook and Archan. Okay, so next day, learning all cooking, and Archan. Archan is, if you read Archan Dipika, how difficult, so many mantras to remember. So anyway, one devotee, Sukhananda, he showed me everything. So I was so excited. Okay, now I know everything. So I'll go and do Archan. Then 2 guys were complaining to Gurudev, blah, blah, this and that. Because Western guy going for Archan. No one had done before. Then they're making some politics and they said to Gurudev this and that. One classic one, he doesn't take bath in the morning. I said to Gurudev, come on, even when I was a kid, Karmi, every morning of my life, I take a bath. Every single morning of my life. And now I joined the Math. I'm not, anyway, many things. So anyway, so Gurudev Gurudev said, okay. And he said, forget about it, Archan, don't worry about it. We have better things for you to do than Archan. I remember he said that. What is that? Chant to Nam Sankirtan means chant Preach means not preach Nam Kirtan. So this is superior than arching. Still, we need arching. Okay. If there was no deity like when was the last time you did Purushottam? Purushottam, when was the last time you did Mangalati? How many years? How many months? Tell me.
Maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. Not long.
What time you woke up this morning?
Today maybe about 6 or 7.
Yeah. 7:06. Tilak in the morning, tilak?
Yeah.
Okay, hallelujah. Anyway, archan help us to become regulated. Archan necessary. Now, if we didn't have Thakurji, what time would we wake up? If we wouldn't have Thakurji, would we be doing any of this, like Tulsi Parikram, all these things, taking bath, tilak, God? Archan requires a very high standard of cleanliness, regulation, control of the mind and senses. That's why Saraswati Thakur gave Brahmin threads to those who are not born in Brahmin families. No, because by wearing a Brahmin thread, that means now eligible for archan, then one comes to a very high standard of cleanliness and regulation, mind and sense control. And these are so much necessary for bhajan. So archan, like an assistant, like a servant of kirtan. Like I was talking, many people criticize Saraswati Thakur for giving Brahmin thread to non-Brahmanas. So of course we know who is a real Brahmin. All these things are there in the Shastra. What is the qualities of a Brahmin? Ravan born in a Brahmin family, but does he have really the qualities of a Brahmin? Some doubt is there. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Guna karma vivadasa, chaturvana maya srishtam. This varnashram made by me, Krishna says. It's based on guna and karma, qualities and activities. It is not based on birth. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into that, but many times we see someone born in a non-Brahminical family who has the qualities of a Brahmin and he was accepted before. Like Vyasadeva, born as the son of a maidservant, but everyone worships him as a Brahmin. No, so many examples. Narad, the son of a maidservant, everyone accepts him as a Brahmin. So all this was there in Shastra, but no one had done before. The Saraswati Thakur did that, but we cannot say there's no praman from the Shastras. Also, Saraswati Thakur thought, if I do not bestow the Brahmin thread upon the Vaishnavas, then non-Vaishnavas will make offense of thinking them to be low-born. So to save the non-Vaishnav community from offense, also elevate the thinking of the sadhaks to a certain level of purity and proper behavior and regulation, cleanliness, then Saraswati Thakur made some adjustment. Maharaj says, because if you just read, no one is on the level to follow that bhajan standard of the 6 Goswamis. So Saraswati Thakur made some arrangement for the practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. When one is purified through the process of Vaidhi Bhakti, then gradually he can come to the level of the 6 Goswamis and the Paramahamsas. Anyway, many things are there. Why I'm speaking all this? So not that we should neglect archan in our stage. That stage will be a great help to us. Like you see, Didi so much have taste in Harinam and everything, but still every morning giving example. So archan, a great friend. But at the end of the day, if you're just absorbed in archan, but not taste in Harinam, taste in Harikatha, then this is all like useless activity. That person's like Kanishta Adhikari. It just has faith in the deity worship, but no faith in Vaishnav Seva or Harikatha. That person is like Kanishta Adhikari. Okay. So some vidis should be there, some rules and regulations in the beginning to purify us to become eligible for that type of Shravan Kirtan. So the practices of karma, jnana, and yoga are difficult and troublesome. But the path of bhakti is easy and simple. Right? Karma, how difficult. Right, Purushottam, how much you earn an hour? Just try and remember. So karma means distribution of wealth. So money is needed. So money, how hard to get, how hard to come by? Wealth. And when you distribute it, how painful, right? When I go to England and Purushottam gives my £10 donation, how much he feel pain and suffering. So wealth, difficult to get. Where you keep it, trouble. If you keep it in the bank, then the government will take some tax. If you don't pay that, you go to jail. If you hide it under the mattress, high chance your grandmother will find it. You hide it somewhere, problem. So money, difficult to get, difficult to keep. And when you spend it, you feel pain. So the process of karma, very difficult. You make some mistake in the process of karma, you also suffer. You know, like in Bhagavatam, the example is given of the story of King Mrigha. He was distributing millions and millions of cows with gold-plated horns and silver hoofs. Each cow was covered in a silk blanket embroidered with jewels and pearls. Each cow was very gentle with the first calf. So imagine how much that cow cost. And he was distributing cows like sands of grain upon the beach, millions and millions. But one day what happened? He gave a cow to one Brahmin, but that cow escaped and went back into the Goshala. And the king gave the same cow to a second Brahmin. The first Brahmin said, "O king, that cow belongs to me." Second Brahmin said, "No, the king has given to me." They began fighting. They went to the king and argued. The king said, "I cannot remember. Please return that cow to me. I'll give you." Good eating there, Shamalata. "Return that cow to me, and I will give you 100 new cows, 1,000 new cows, 10,000 new cows, 10 million new cows." Right, Kevin, imagine 10 million cows. Talk about save the cow program. 10 million cows. No, we do not want any 10 million cows. I just want what was given to me. The king said, "Please, I don't know what to do." Then the Brahmanas became angry. They cursed him. "You are like a lizard, a chameleon. Chameleon always changing his color. You are like that. I give to you." "No, I don't. I changed my mind." So we curse you, become a chameleon, a lizard. So when he died, he went to Yamaraj. Yamaraj said, "You did a mountain of good activities, but one mistake is there. What do you want? You want to suffer for the mistake first or enjoy first?" But the problem is, if you enjoy first, you can't really enjoy because you're always thinking what's going to happen. Right? Imagine I gave a huge chocolate milkshake to Kevin. No? What do they call those things? Iced chocolate. Imagine I gave to Kevin a huge 2-liter iced chocolate full of ice cream, whipped cream, many things. And I said, "But after you finish it, I'm going to punch you in the face." Kevin, would you enjoy your iced chocolate? Because you were too much worried about the punch in the face, which is coming after. So in the same way, the king said, "Let me get the punch in the face first and let me get the iced chocolate after. Let me suffer first. Then I can enjoy the heavenly planets after." Anyway, long story, but he became a lizard. One mistake. So karma is so difficult to perform. Bhagavatam gives many examples. Like there was one Twasta Rishi. So his son was called Vishwarup. Indra was rejected by his guru Brihaspati. Therefore, the demigods needed a new guru to do the yagya. So they asked Vishwarup. But Vishwarup was from a mixed family. I think his father was a demigod, but his mother was a demon. So he was inclined to both the demigods and the demons. So when he would do yagya, he would offer on behalf of Indra, but he would also offer something on the side for the demons. So Indra heard this, what? Became angry and cut off his 3 heads. So Twasta Rishi became very angry. This Indra is a nonsense. I'll kill him. So he did another yagya. He did a huge yagya. Bhagavatam described it. When he chanted the mantra, no, he did not make a mistake in pronunciation, but he made a mistake in the tune, the intonation. What's the time? That means, something like that, intonation. So instead of using where there should have been an upper intonation, he used a lower one, tiny mistake. As a result, the result of the karma was reversed. So instead of getting a son who would be the enemy of Indra, he got a son who would be the friend of Indra. So karma is so hard, and even you do karma perfectly. What's the best position you can get? Anupama, what's the best position you can get by the perfect practice of karma kand?
Ramaloka. Maximum.
Ramalok attained by karma, maybe. Anyway, but general rule is Swarga. General rule. So even you become king of heaven, you look in the Bhagavatam, how many problems Indra has. I think it's the 6th canto, it's practically the dictionary of Indra's problems. Right? First came, one time he lusted after the wife. It's a long story, but he was cursed to become a python. One Indra became a snake, and Bhimsen liberated him. Another time Indra was cursed to become a pig. Another Indra became a pig. That story is there. Now, after Indra killed Vishwarup, then for thousands of years, he was pursued by the sin of killing a Brahmin. He could not take any yagya, therefore thousands of years he could not eat. He was hiding in the stem of a lotus. Many times the demons come and steal the heavenly planets from Hiranyakasipu or Hiranyaksha or Ravan, or always causing some disturbance. Many times you see the demigods always fighting amongst themselves and cursing each other. So karam, gyan, and yoga. Right? Yoga, you make a little mistake in the pranayam, you become mad. You go bonkers. Many times you see yogis, crazy. Because they're rising the air, the life air is up and down, you make a little mistake. In pranayam, you can go nuts. You can lose your marbles. Go crazy. Karma Gyan Yoga, very difficult, very troublesome. Bhakti is not like that, very easy, very simple. And the results, if you do it perfectly, the results are also like useless. But devotion, very easy, very easy. What's different? Okay, so if we go at this rate, it's going to take us like 10 years to finish. Haribol! I don't know who's there. Okay, so Yena Janmasata Purvam Basudev Samachita Tanmuk Harinamani Sadatistani Bharata. The holy name of Sri Hari is only present on the lips of that person who has perfectly worshipped Vasudev by Archan for the last 100 lives, hundreds of births. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has made his own little poem, and we'll sing that next week. We'll sing that on Thursday. There'll be Russian translation also. Okay, everyone, be good. Be safe. Any questions? Chandrika, any question?
Gurudev, can I ask a question? It's Purushottam.
Yes, I know it's Purushottam.
At the start of the class, you said that when Krishna kills the demons, he gives them mukti, but you said they will again have to take birth. But do they not go to Vaikuntha?
Anyway, generally those killed by Bhagavan achieve Sayuja Mukti, no? And Sayuja Mukti is not eternal. You have to come back. But like Kaliya, when Krishna punished Kaliya, Kaliya not purified so much. Kaliya said, okay, give me another body. Change my samskar. Then Krishna said, I actually cannot do that. So anyway, even punished, killed by Bhagavan, like Jain, like Hiranyakasipu, Hiranyaksha had to take birth again and again. Many demons killed. They get some good position, some liberation, but heart is not purified just by being killed. But some good, Atikati Dayak, some good destination they get. But Prema Bhakti, if Bhagavan kills you and you get Prema Bhakti, no guarantee of that. I'd never heard of that before. Have you? So liberation, but Prema, no. Prema, no.
But still, they
To
will
go to Vaikuntha, you also need Prema, right? It's not so easy. So anyway, some good destination they get, but Prema Bhakti, that's not achieved by being killed.
and no.
Or even by committing suicide. Many devotees like Sanatana Goswami wanted to commit suicide. Mahaprabhu talked him out of it. So no easy way. Okay, anything else? Yamuna, any questions? Where's husband? Where's Asim? Is he listening?
He just got back from work.
At the cinema?
No, from school.
He's
Yeah.
chanting every day?
Yes,
Are you?
yes, but not very well. But yes, mind is too busy. So any mercy you can, and blessings you can send, I'm on a receiving.
Ask Asim how many cows he saved. Okay?
Nada.
Zero. Take care. Okay, any questions?
Dandavat.
Anything else? Nihama?
Gurudev, this is Manorama. I have a question.
Yeah, I know who you are. Yes.
Dandavats to you and to the devotees. Okay, so for like some of us, maybe
What?
things like that in this world, like sometimes I find that like I don't want to chant because I feel like I'm cheating because I'm a little bit caffeinated.
You feel like what?
Like I'm cheating because I'm caffeinated. Like I have a little bit of coffee in my and I'm still chanting to have like something like that.
Anyway, whatever pure and impure, one has to chant Harinam. Why drinking
Yeah.
coffee? Did you say coffee? Did I hear that?
Sometimes.
Why?
Well, like I don't know. I somehow got caught up drinking coffee to like stay alive at work and like keep going in this world. But
Keep going this world. Go where?
straight to hell in a handbasket. I don't know. Okay, that was
Anyway.
my question. I feel like sometimes maybe better to just not even chant because it's offensive because you're kind of on something.
No. Anyway, whatever condition, it's always best to chant Harinam. Harinam has no rules and regulations, right? Any time, any place, any circumstance. Only one rule, you have to chant always. If you're chanting Harinam, how could you drink coffee? Spill.
Okay.
No matter what condition, no matter where we find ourselves, we should always chant Harinam.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Take care. Okay, Mark, everything good? Take care. Okay, God bless everyone. See you on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat.